Do you have to kind of watch what you say when your parents are looking over your shoulder?
Not so much my dad, but when my mom's around, absolutely. No swear words. Gotta watch what I say. Make sure I represent us well.
How quick is this going to be?
I was talking to, I think it was Keon and Johnny yesterday. Like, I remember moving in June, wide-eyed, like, ready to get this thing going.
Rue, I love you, Nate.
Ready to get this thing going, and summer went really, really fast. We got a little bit of break in August, and then coach was like, it's gonna be February before you know it, and like, it's March now. It has just flown by. It's been unreal.
How does it seem to you, just the experience? You know?
Something that I couldn't have asked for. It's everything that you wanted to happen for you, to play basketball at a high level, to play for a coach like Coach Cal, to have the teammates that I have, and to have the fans that we have, and the support. It's been everything to me. It's been everything for my family. They're always texting me after games and telling me that everybody in Emporium's texting them, cheering us on. So it's been everything for me.
Nate, you've obviously played in the tournament before. How does it feel differently this year being a favorite going into that as opposed to an underdog like you're now?
I haven't really thought about that much, but kind of more recently looking at everything and kind of getting an idea of how things are going to shape up. It's crazy. It's like I would have never thought about that. You want to win the conference championship to get into the tournament, and we went into the same thing here, but to know that you're going to make it, and to know that you're going to have a good season, and everybody's going to travel with you, you're going to have a bunch of fans there instead of a little section of the gym being orange and blue. But it's a little bit different, but I haven't really thought about it too much.
Have you talked to your former teammates about what you're going through? They have to be living through this experience with you.
Yeah, absolutely. I talked to Walter Ellis a lot, and his dad's obviously works for College Game Day, Alfonso Ellis, so I talked with him too. But with Walt, it's just he's asking us what it's like for the practices at this time of the year, because they're a lot different than what we had been going through at Bucknell. Because like I said, you have to win those conference championship games, or those conference championship to get to the NCAA tournament. But they're loving it. They texted me when I scored 1,000 points. They were cheering me on. All my coaches that texted me just to congratulate me and say it's awesome to see you succeed. And it's been great. And it really is a family. As soon as you leave, like you don't just leave, they forget about you.
Nate, the coaches always talk about players should have amnesia, move on, but you're so conscientious. I get the idea that it's not an easy thing for you to do if things aren't going well,
Yeah.
to move to the next play.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a perfectionist, or at least I try to be, so you want to play perfectly all the time. You want to play great, and if you don't, sometimes that stuff lingers on your mind, and for me, I try to correct that mistake or do something to get us the ball back. Like I missed 2 free throws the other day, which I hate because I shoot free throws all the time in practice and after practice, but with a play like that, and you miss it, you try to get the ball back, and it does linger in your mind a little bit, but that book that I had talked about really helps me out mentally to just forget about it and try to move forward as fast as possible.
Did you come here with a kind of deliberate plan to make sure you stopped yourself a few times over the course of this few months and soaked in what this experience is because it would go by fast?
Absolutely. I mean, when I first got here, I'm just trying to get healthy and all the lifts and stuff. I just really soaked in the time that I was able to have with Rob and the trainers that we had in the summer, and just appreciate that time. And then Madison Square Garden, obviously I had never played there, and to have first game as a graduate student there against Michigan State was huge. And have my family there as well. The Ohio State game, my brother was able to make it from California, and then to have the Louisville game, my parents were there again. And just different games throughout the season, and to score 1,000 points in college for me is always something that I'd always dreamt about as a little kid. And to do that wearing this uniform just means a lot to me. And then now moving into my final home game here, it's a little surreal, but definitely going to soak in the experience, soak in the time with my family while they're here, and then go into Saturday's game. But just I'm trying to do it. It's hard because like everything just happens and it's gone. But I've been reflecting a lot, and a lot of great memories have been popping up.
How long did it take you to adjust to the crowd? When you were playing, something great happens and 20,000 comes out.
I mean, I think after Big Blue Madness, it was a little bit like it kind of hit me, but I don't really pay attention to it. I say it all the time. Like when I'm playing, I don't really listen to it, but I can always, and I mean this, I can always hear my mom's whistle. Like at Bucknell games, the crowd would be crazy, and something would happen, or I would do something, and I would react, and she would whistle, I could hear it. But like I never hear people. I listen to the coaches and my teammates, but like other than that, I don't really pay attention to it, but I could always hear her whistle, and my sister, so I try not to think about the crowd too much, but Rupp was crazy on Saturday. That was the time where I think Emmanuel hit that 3 at the end, when the advantage he stole and hit that 3, and the crowd was crazy. I think that was the first time where I kind of like, because I wasn't in the game at the time, but I like soaked it in that like, it was ridiculously loud.
What prompts your mom's whistle? Is she like saying, "Way to go"?
No. It's, most of the time she's probably, but it's probably language, body language. If I miss a free throw, she whistles at me. But other than that, nothing too good.
Nick, did you go through a senior day ceremony at Bucknell last year?
I did, yeah.
So what are the emotions like? How does that compare?
I think because I didn't plan on transferring until after the season, so I didn't think that I was going to leave. And my brother surprised me. I hadn't seen him in 2 years, so he surprised me, and it really threw me off. I was like 1 for 7 to start the game. I think my first shot, like hit the shot clock, but it's a little bit different because like I know now like this is my
Right
last.
foot.
This is my last one, and I love college basketball. And if I had another year, I would stay for sure because it's just something that I have like come to love. But it's starting to hit me a little bit that this is my last time doing it, but I can't think about it too much because I don't want to let that affect how I play. But I haven't been thinking about it.
Maybe one day one of us writes a book about this season. What do you hope the chapter about you says that you were to this team?
A great teammate, a great leader, somebody who brought smiles to everybody's faces outside of basketball, a resource outside of the gym, and inside. Like when we're practicing, somebody that guys can lean on, guys can trust, but mostly just somebody who you can rely on and off the court, because that's something that I try to do everywhere I go, and just have a relationship with everybody. I want them to feel that they have the same relationship that I feel like I have with them, with me, and just somebody that they could, 10 years from now, they could hit me up if I'm in anywhere near their city, and we can go and get dinner, and it's never going to be an issue. Because like that's what I had with my teammates at Bucknell, and I know that I'm going to have that with these guys because they're the same people. It's the same kind of kids, come from good families, guys who want to win, guys who want to build these relationships outside of just practice and outside of just basketball.
What's your plans for the future, Nate? You know,
What's that?
What do you hope to be doing a year from now?
Playing professionally, wherever that is. It's been a dream of mine too to be a professional basketball player and to make money playing the game I love and not have to go to school doing it too. And just building something for myself later on down the road, establishing myself, and hopefully I can play for as long as my body allows me to, and then retire and live it up.
Yeah, what surprised you? What were you not expecting out of this experience?
Breaking my wrist, obviously. No, I would say just like, I know there's gonna be ups and downs throughout the season, and I think the thing that surprised me the most was how like receptive and how much, I don't know how to say it, like how much my teammates helped me out when I was going through that little slump. Every day Emmanuel was always talking about keeping my head up and just keep fighting and keep working. It's a lot of the stuff that goes on behind the scenes that people don't see, they don't know about because they're not in the locker room with you or they're not in the gym with you late at night. But to come into the gym late at night when you're going through something mentally, you're going through something when you're not playing well, and to have a teammate like that, obviously he's playing his butt off, but to have a teammate like that tell you that he believes in you, and then have coaching staff like we have here say that they still believe in you, that everything's going to come around, it just means a lot.
Did you sort of think in a program like this, full of McDonald's All-Americans, that if you go down, they just step over you and keep going, and that surprise you with that?
I think, I don't know if it's that as much as it's just, they're also trying to do what I'm trying to do. And I think with them, they I don't know if it was dragging them down or anything, but they're chasing after something too, and I didn't think that me going through that slump would affect anybody, but I couldn't let that affect my energy, and I did at times, and our coaching staff got on me about it, my teammates had gone on me about it, about not being the same guy, energy-wise, and I think that's something that I wasn't expecting for them to just be like, hey, like, don't let this affect how you play. Don't let this affect your energy. Because whether you're on the court or off the court, like your energy feeds into what we're trying to do.
Couple more guys.
Do you have a favorite moment this year at home?
I'm not sure. A Louisville game was crazy. That was something that I've been really looking forward to, hearing about the rivalry and how people were lined up hours before the game outside of Rupp. I'm trying to think. Maybe letting my brother Andrew being here and him seeing it, because he had been to Bucknell games. There's only 5,000 or 6,000 people there, and for him to be here and watch a game where there's 20,000 people meant a lot to me, because he got to see our workouts and our practices and everything leading up to a game, and that's something that he and I had always talked about, and for him to be here and to see that really meant a lot for me.
Over the weekend, the College Players Association released a statement saying they said we might want to look into not having fans in attendance for March Madness with coronavirus. What would it mean as a player to play in a game where nobody's in the stands?
I think it would be pretty similar to practice. We we have people in practice, but like not having people in the stands. Like I said, I try not to feed into the crowd or into the noise or anything like that, but I don't know, just empty gym. That's how I try to think when I'm playing too. Is just play with an empty gym, shoot with an empty gym. So I don't know if it would affect me too much, because like I said, I try not to feed into it, but